streaming consciousness. You are source energy streaming into these physical bodies. And sometimes you allow your connection to be full and perfect. And when that's happening, you feel so good. You feel eager. You feel lighthearted. You feel clarity and ease. And sometimes you don't allow yourself to flow quite as well. That's what negative emotion indicates. You're sort of pinching off a stream that could be clearer. So we like to talk about your relationship with who you really are. And we like to talk about you in this world. We like to acknowledge this leading edge place where you stand. We are so pleased that you are out here on the leading edge, not just the leading edge of humanity, not just the leading edge of what is physical, but the leading edge of all that is, because through the contrast that you explore, you come to new conclusions, new desires. And as those new desires are born within you, you set into motion the momentum of source energy flowing toward them. Momentum is the operative word of this day and of your life, because momentum is what law of attraction causes the frequency that you've got going on to become. We've been talking to you for a while. Have you been listening? Been telling you about law of attraction. And recently we've been telling you about how when you sift through the contrast and you know what you don't want, you launch a rocket of desire about what you do want, because nothing causes you to clarify your desire more than life experience. Words don't teach, but life experience certainly does, doesn't it? So your life experience is constantly posing for you new desires, new preferences, rockets, vibrational rockets that you are not up to speed with when you first launch them, because they were born out of synthesizing life. They were born out of comparison. Sometimes they're born out of competition. They're born out of your relationship with others. But you are constantly coming to conclusions of desire that you are not up to speed with when the desire is first born. There is a vibrational gap. So we began telling you that when you send those rockets, that those rockets are gathered, that law of attraction is gathering all of your rockets of desire. There's a vibrational reality that exists, a vivid reality that exists, that is the culmination of everything that you've been asking for, even what you asked for before you came into this physical body, relative to how you would be when you got in this physical body, is all contained in this vibrational reality. But you've got to be a vibrational match to that before it can manifest in a way that you can see it and hear it and smell it and taste it and touch it in a way that others can be aware of it too. So we talked to you a lot. We wrote a whole book about your vortex, your vibrational reality, this swirling mass that law of attraction accomplishes as a result of all that you ask for. This high frequency of no resistance, of the solutions to your problems and the answers to your questions and the beingness of your becoming. It is a vortex, a vibrational reality. It's the precursor to what you will live later once you find vibrational alignment with it. And you liked the subject of the vortex for the most part. We watched you. We could see you wanting to get in the vortex. We would say, get into the vortex, get into the vortex. Get in there where everything you want is. A little annoying to you because you couldn't actually get in there and see anything, but you could feel it. You could feel when you were in alignment with it. So now we're wanting you to understand that if you can maintain that hopeful, expectant, vibrational frequency until it becomes, because momentum always moves it in the direction of where you're pointed, becomes more than hope, becomes belief, and then knowing. Once you have practiced the vibration of what's in your vortex long enough that you own the frequency of it, so that there's no gap between you right here where you stand and the vibrational reality that you have created over your life experience, then those objects, those subjects, those relationships, those desires, those answers, those solutions that you have been asking for flow seamlessly in perfect timing into your experience. And so at this point of our conversation with our dear physical friends, we're spending more time than anything talking about your point of attraction. What are you doing here and now? And the answer to that question lies in how you feel. Because if you're ornery, your point of attraction is not where you want it to be. We began talking about this vibrational disc that you are on because it is spinning and law of attraction is bringing to it. There is a momentum that's bringing to you from all around what matches the vibrational frequency that you've got going on. So if you're ornery, you're gathering up ornery things. We began talking about this emotional scale, and we want you to think about the emotional flying disc of fear, or the emotional flying disc. It's not really flying, but it's spinning, and it's energy, and it's fast moving, and law of attraction is answering it. So you could be on a high flying disc that feels like love and appreciation, or you could be on a low flying disc that feels like fear, or you could be on the ornery disc, which feels like ornery. And if you're wondering what disc you're on, and you're not really aware of what you're feeling, then just notice the people around you. Because if they're around you, they're on your disc. And if they're on your disc, it's your point of attraction, you see. Now, you could live in an ornery house and not be on the ornery disc. They'll badger you all the time. They'll ask you, what's wrong with you? Why are you so happy? Don't you know what's going on here? You need to get your head out of the clouds and start facing reality. That's what they'll tell you. Don't listen to them, though. And don't explain to them that they're on the ornery disc either. That never goes very well. But it is so helpful when you begin to care about what your point of attraction is. We talked just a bit ago about momentum, because momentum really is the most important aspect of deliberate creation that you could consciously contemplate. Because what momentum says is, once you get going in that direction, it's more likely that it will continue in that direction. So you want to be aware of the direction. You want to set the tone early. It is our encouragement that you go to bed tonight knowing that when you wake up in the morning, you have a potential of starting the momentum the way you want it to be. Because during your slumber, while you were asleep, the momentum of your point of attraction subsided. Isn't that nice to know? So you really do wake up with a clean slate. Now, it's not likely that you're going to wake up in the morning and think all new thoughts, because you say it's memory, we say it's sort of residual attraction. But if you will wake up in the morning deliberately intending to find thoughts that feel better than usual, and you will focus there for a bit of time, and you will do it the next morning, then the next morning, and the next morning, and the next morning, it is our promise to you that within 30 days, really less, you will have established different vibrational patterns at the beginning of your day. And what you'll begin to notice about the end of the second week is that your point of attraction is visibly different to you. You'll begin to notice that the relationships that you have with nearly everyone have shifted into an improvement because your point of attraction has shifted into improvement. There are a few very brief things that we want to say to you, and then we're going to throw this open to conversation with you about anything that you want. But these are the primary elements that are important for anyone who has decided to be a deliberate creator to understand. You are vibrational first and foremost, and you are always emanating if you are conscious and awake. And so you have a point of attraction that law of attraction is always responding to. And you have control over what you emanate because you have control about what you think. And in time, you'll be able to think on purpose. The things that you're observing will no longer dictate what you're thinking. You will be able to think on purpose because momentum will allow you to do so. You know this because this is what beliefs are. A belief is just a thought that has momentum. A belief is just a thought that you keep thinking. And we want you to not beat up on yourself about your beliefs because you offer a thought and then you offer more of that thought, and law of attraction makes it easy for you to offer it more and more and more, and then something manifests that matches it and you say, see, I knew that was true. Esther argued with us in the early days of our interaction with her. Abraham, it's true. I know you don't think I should think about that, but it is a true thing. And we would say to her endlessly, we know that it is a true thing because someone made it true. Your attention to it is going to make it true for you. Our only encouragement is that you decide before you make it true if it's something you want. Because you can make anything you want true for you, if you will get the momentum of it going long enough that law of attraction can bring it to you. But most don't. You say, I want it, but, I want it, but, I want it, but. I would like this thing that never comes to me to come to me, but it never comes to me. And wouldn't it be nice if this thing that I want more than life itself would come to me and save me from the wretchedness that is my normal life experience? I so want this thing that I've never seen. I don't know anybody who's really living except that one person who's immoral. That person who I disapprove of completely is living my dream, but of course I do not want to dream that dream because there is immorality involved. In other words, you shoot yourself in the foot with all of these things as you're trying to mostly explain why things are not better for you. And we want you to understand that there is only one reason that things are not better for you. You've got a thought process going on that you could change if you wanted to. So this gathering is about sort of goosing up that desire and helping you to come into alignment with who you really are and all of the potential that you were born with. You're doing extremely well. We do not want this conversation to make you think that we think that you are not doing extremely well. But we know for sure that you're here because you're seeking improvement. You're here because you want to contribute. But you're here because there are questions that you would like to have answered, and there are solutions that you're looking for. And we want you to know that within the framework of your understanding the law of attraction and your vibrational relationship with your source, which is what your emotions are all about, that you will find here today, if you want it, the formula to be or do or have anything that you desire. There is nothing that is off limits for you. If this time-space reality has spawned the desire within you, it can deliver the full-blown manifestation. If you can accept a shift as you have received it here today, acknowledge it is really what we're saying, and then compound the acknowledgement by affirming the evidence of it to yourself, not to others, when it occurs. Well, now you're on the path of least resistance, you see. Now you're moving into that ease that we were talking about earlier. You are a magnificent group, and it has been delightful for us to feel you as you were and as you are. And even more delightful for us to anticipate what is coming for you next. And that's the part that we really want to emphasize, want to leave this active within you. Everything that you desire is all queued up for you. And it's just a matter of time. And the time is only about how much practice you give to feeling good and how much practice you give to not feeling good. So it is our powerful encouragement to you that you assign to yourself a new determination to just be patient about the unfolding of things. Just say to yourself, I'm on the path is unfolding, it will reveal itself to me in its perfect timing, and all is really well. And just practice knowing that, practice saying that until you know it, and practice knowing it until it reveals itself to you with the evidence. And then maybe you can think about telling somebody else about it. But meanwhile, just let this universe prove to you the worthiness that you are and the value that you are to all of us and the well-being that you deserve through constant daily demonstrations. There is great love here for you. And as always, we remain happily in the vortex.